Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. We're jumping into Watcher Realms and we're going to have a look at the Crimson Star boss day. Someone's asked if I can have a look at a free-to-play account or a free-to-play team. I'm not sure on how that statement really works, if I'm honest, nowadays. You could be free-to-play, have 10 Ancients, use them and find that you've got 4 Popes, 3 Ingrids, 3 Valderons. I mean, it'd be a good pool, but that would technically still be a free-to-play account, so it's a bit tricky to do that. So I'm just going to work from the sort of best way to sort of kill the boss, some teams that might be available to use in limited heroes, going down until we're using sort of more epics and free-to-play here, or sorry, easier to grasp heroes than anything else. And then so there's a couple of teams available for you, and we'll give them all a try as we jump in. So the first thing we want to do is there is a platform down at the bottom right. So we want to build up a team for that. Now I use pretty much the same team every time. I always use a Nocturne on there. And then tank wise you can use Baron. Baron's a fantastic tank, nice heavy tank to be able to use. You want a healer on that platform as well, and take a Dolores just in case. So that's that bottom platform on that far right hand side sort of taken care of for you, and that's that done. And then after that you want your best single target damage dealers. So go off there and we can select single target damage, and then something to be aware of if the boss has got relatively high magic damage resistance, so you want to be doing physical damage on him. So you want to take as much physical damage as you can. That will work well, that will work well. Now Hex does magic damage, although he always hits like a truck, so I wouldn't overly worry about taking a Hex. And then also if you've got her, because she was on the limited, then feel free to use her as well. So that's quite a nice little team setup, and it's a sort of relatively easier way to do the boss. I mean, you want to kill the boss off as quickly as you possibly can, and we'll go over some sort of ways to do this up. So I just want to get him down first because it takes such a long time to build up his ultimate. So there we go. Nocturne going down, then we'll put a tank down, healer down, all that sort of stuff. And we'll build up this this far right platform to start with, because that makes our life a little easier. We can sort of forget about it after that, and then it's just everyone else at the top and nuke the boss down. That's realistically it. And if you can nuke the boss down relatively quickly, then that works out really well for you. Right, let's just pause there a second. There's me, probably better off here out the way. And let's slow this down. So there's Nocturne away, ticking away. You can fire off the Dolores, but I wouldn't fire off his ultimate yet. And then everyone's ready up here. We can swap her over. We've already done it. Oh, we'd already done it. We're in the wrong pose now. Go, swap her back. There we are. And then we just trigger off everyone's ultimate. There we are. And then we should be able to nuke the boss down. And that's probably one of the easier, better, nicer ways to do it, cleaner ways to do it, is just to nuke the boss down as fast as you can at the start, and it saves out for a lot of issues for you later on, and then you can just recall everyone afterwards. So that's sort of the easiest way to do it. Now, understanding that not everyone's got that team, then let's make some others up that are possibly more accessible. So when we're looking at more accessible, I still think Vortex, Dolores still work there. I still think your tank as Baron is a good option. If you're struggling for single target magic damage dealing down there, and we want magic damage dealing, it's Nisel's a very good shout. And then we're after killing the boss. So the ways we want to do this there are a number of ways we can do it. So let's have a look. Let's see. Take again your best single target damage dealer. So some Wukong you might have, and then you'll probably want a marksman because they're relatively cheap to go down. I'll stick with a Silas, and then healer wise we've got her again. She's absolutely fantastic for this if you've got her. If you pulled on her banner or her limited summon. And then who else? We'll take a Laurel as well and do a quick Laurel trick on this as well. So there we go, there's our team this time round. Let's jump in and give this a whirl. Now we'll build up the right hand platform to start with. So we place down Nisol can go down, Baron can go down there. We're just waiting on putting the healer down and Dolores, and then that's that part done. Always place them down like that, and there we go. So just a quick one while we're here. So this is why we want magic damage down there. Their defense is absolutely massive, but their magic resistance is really low. Okay, now the other ones are a bit around the other way, but they don't hit so hard, they haven't got as much health. And then the other thing is they're in heavy armor as well, so when you're doing magic damage to them, they're taking an extra 20% damage as well. So magic damage all the way with those. The boss has a high magic resistance, less defense. He's only in common armor, so you're not going to get any bonuses for using anything there. Okay, so that's sort of the boss setup. Now that's why we build up around the bottom there. Now we'll come on to if you can't kill the boss and the boss is walking around later on. I just want to get through the rest of the teams realistically and sort of get them worked out to start with. So there we go. There's our team set up there on the platform. Slow down for the boss. Let's pause and get me out of the way. It's me out of the way. So we're just waiting for the boss to come around. Now when the boss comes around, we'll be able to open up everything and hopefully kill the boss off. So we'll swap over there, we'll get her swapped over so she's doing the inspiration for us. There's the attack gone on everyone, and then we can let loose on everyone's ultimates there. Can probably do it down the bottom as well on the right hand side. There we go. We get the boss going down, there we go. Then when Silas is done with his, we'll put down a laurel. We can drag a laurel back, and then that way we're much closer off. Jump into a quick healing pose with her just to get everyone healed up while the boss is still there, and we're waiting for ultimates. And then before the ultimates are due, we'll swap her back over. So there we go. Ultimates are now up. Swap her back over, and then we will trigger off the ultimates. There's some Wukongs. And there's Silas's as well. So that should take care of the boss for us. So that takes care of the boss, and the boss is done that way around. Now we can expand this out as well. So if we restart on this and do pretty much the same thing. So I'll keep myself here because it should be out of the way later on. And you're already aware of the champions we've got and we use them. We haven't swapped any of them. It's just a complete restart. It's just something else to note whilst you're doing this, that put Vortex down, then a Dolores, then we're waiting on Sun Wukong. So there we go, there's Sun Wukong down now, and he's building up his ultimate. We can put down our healing down behind him, and we're pretty much good to go. But this time we won't use Silas. Now it's interesting to see that the amount of times that you can use Sun Wukong's ultimate comes round quite a lot, which is nice for us. So we'll wait for the boss to get in line, we'll swap her over to give her the buff, and then we trigger off his ultimate, and we'll fire off around like that. So that's our way around of doing it. So we'll trigger her off, now he's attacking, there we go. Then we can put Laurel down, his ultimate is finished, pull Laurel off, and then his ultimate is coming back round again. Trigger off down the right hand side, so we kill off the mobs over there. Sun Wukong's back round for his ultimate, and we can trigger that one off as well. Now once that second ultimate's finished with, you want to swap her back round so she's doing the healing to keep us going again, and we're just waiting on building up another ultimate. And that's it. We've got enough time here with the boss to be able to build up enough ultimates and keep the healing going with her. So that's a very nice way round to do it. Now I appreciate not everyone's got a Silas and things like that, or hexes or that sort of thing, so we're just going to have a quick look round. Here we go, swap her back round, then trigger off Sun Wukong's ultimate again. His ultimate used, and we swap her back to healing mode, and that's realistically it. We can keep going round in circles like this to either we kill the boss or when our Laurel is back round again. There we go. Just needed a touch of them at the end. So RNG might play that out for you. You might do better than me, but there you go. That's it done that way round. Now let's assume that you don't have some of those champions. Let's have a quick look at some other options for you. So this time round we're still going to use much the same setup. So the bottom team, the team on the right hand side, that hasn't changed at all. On killing the boss team, we've got Silas, we've got Laurel, we've got a tank, and then we've got our little super soldier. So where is he? Where is he? There he is. Fully 3-starred all the way up to level 30. Now, this is worth knowing. So I'll just go through the beginning bit as per normal. Knee salt, tank, healer, yeah, all that normal stuff. Right, so the tank goes up here, where we can see. Now, let's have a look at the boss's abilities. Now, this is the boss. Common armor, so it doesn't matter what we use against him, but he's got a lot more magic resistance than he has defense. Now, the boss's abilities. Abyssal Torrent deals massive magic damage to all heroes within 2 tiles. That's the first thing he's going to do when he arrives on the map. Abyssal Torrent, boom, that's what he's going to do. Now, after this, he does a Stellar Gaze, prioritises attacking defenders. Then he's dealing magic damage 2 times to the target and the target's adjacent heroes in horizontal and vertical line. Right, and then he does a Crimson Plague, which targets all ground heroes, so that's only ground units he targets, dealing massive magic damage to them and their adjacent heroes, while also corrupting the tiles to continuously deal damage to all heroes positioned on them, and then we'll come to that in a minute. So if we put ourselves back here, even when the boss gets tanked here in front of our tank, 1-2 tiles here, he's still going to miss us. 1-2 tiles here, he's still going to miss us. So as long as we're out of that range, there it was there, it went all the way over. But now he's done it, we can go here. We cannot go here, because if the boss lands here, 1-2 tiles, he's in front of 1-2 tiles, he will hit us here. We have to go here, and then we can come across and we can hit the boss. And that's the same reason for Silas having to go back there as well. Okay, so there we're outside of that 2-tile range. There he is in the tank, and there's the horizontal line as well. So we can now have a look. Oh, we just worry about that right hand side. We'll fire off Dolores, and then in a bit we'll be able to fire off Nisalt, and he'll be able to take out the mob for us coming down. And then when Silas gets going, there goes Silas, we can trigger off Silas's ultimate. Now have a look at the white damage coming off. Ever so occasionally you'll see 150k. Just look out for that 150k. Now that is what our little 3-star's doing for us. That's what he's doing. Now over here we can get rid of our tank. We don't need him, and there is generally enough time. With these 3 stacks on, we're doing true damage against the HP of the boss. There we go. Chuck down our Laurel, remover, boost up Silas. And we're getting, there we go, 150k, and that's all being done by your little hero over here. 3-star, he's not taking any damage, he needs no gear on him other than the gear to hit the boss, and that is all he's doing. And this is just another way we can tank down the boss. Now, why did we remove our other tank? Now there's a reason for that. The boss is going to do something in a minute. Remember his Crimson Plague, I think it is. Let's have a quick look. Boss, Crimson Plague. Now that's the ability we've got to watch out for. We've got to watch out for it normally, but we've got to watch out for it more so this week and probably next week than anyone else. If you've just found it harder doing this, this is the reason why. So watch out for this ability. So where do we get the boss down to? We're past 50% now, which is nice. Getting close to 40%. Oh, we're down into the 30s. We're doing, there he is, Crimson Plague, and you see that he's jumped up. He's done a massive jump in HP. He's right back up to 66%. One of the abilities this time round for this Vortex run is the fact that when he does Crimson Plague, he heals a massive amount of damage to himself. Now, Crimson Plague's going to land on the ground. Boom, there it is. Now if we have a look, that's all the tiles around there are taking damage as well. Okay, that's all the tiles coming around. Now the boss then will then carry on walking around. He doesn't hit over here If you notice, we've still got enough time for our tank to respawn. So our tank's now respawned and we can place our tank down. He was going to attack all ground-based units, so he would have done that over here and would have taken out our healer and Dolores as well as our tank as well. But we've got enough time to remove our tank after they do the first group of 3, before the boss does that and the next lot get down, and that way we've got enough time to put our tank down. So make sure if you're not killing the boss off to start with, we're going to remove our boss, okay? We're going to remove our tank. Now, let's build up a team around this. Now there's something else, a quick one to look at, okay? How did we do damage wise? Let's have a look at this. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. He's not too far off. You don't have a Silas, then you do need this champion. He's just 3-star. You give him a it's only his ultimate that's doing damage, and so build him up with rage regen, attack speed. That's it. His actual damage for his basic attack, pitiful, but that true damage debuff he's putting on when he fires up his ultimate, that's what we're after. So we're after getting to his ultimate as fast as possible, and we do that by making sure he has a lot of attacks and he has a lot of rage regen. So rage regen and attack speed on as much gear as possible, including main stats. Okay, that's how you build him up, and then he's firing away and he's not taking any damage, so you haven't got to worry about the rest of the gear. You want attack speed or sets that give you attack speed, and you want stuff that gives you rage regen, okay? And I'll show you the build I've got on him. In fact, we can do it now, can't we? A quick look at him. Oh, I haven't even got an artifact on him, but this is the gear I've got. So I've got attack speed on him. He's got attack speed. If it had rage regen on there, it'd be even better. And then on here, we've got rage regen and attack speed. On here, we've got a main stat of attack speed and didn't have any rage regen. That's a blow. And then we've got attack, but then we've got attack speed and rage regen with the important bits for that afterwards. He could probably do a bit more damage if you stuck an artifact on him as well. There you go. So that's how we're running that team. Now this time, if we take this off, now this is where it all gets a bit tricky for the next 2 weeks. This is going to cause an issue for you. What you will have to have, or ideally have, is an anti-heal. Now I've only got 2, so I'm going to use that one. Now this is where the fight becomes a bit of an issue over the next 2 weeks. We're going to set up the other end just as we normally do, but this time we're going to run with our anti-heal. Now this is very unfortunate this time around. I don't know of a way where you'll want to either nuke the boss down, which is the best option for you, or you're going to have to run with an anti-heal this week, and what will essentially, I should imagine, be next week. I think they run sort of in a 2-week sort of window, don't they? So make sure that you're running with this sort of setup. If you haven't got this, you haven't got an anti-heal or enough DPS, I think you're really going to struggle. So the boss has arrived. Torrent, and get down Liam. He's going to go up and do some damage for us, and then we're going to get our anti-heal sorted out for us. I want to fire off Silas as quickly as possible, because I want to hope that I can get round to it as quickly as possible. So as soon as Silas actually does a hit, then we will trigger off his ultimate. There we go. There's his ultimate going. And now we can probably trigger off Nisalt as well, get that going, and then we can start DPSing the boss down. So you're gonna lose not having a Laurel on your team if you can't do it and get around, because you will need the anti-heal. But what you want to do is, first time round when you're running it, set your team up like this and just have a look. Oops, need to get rid of our tank. Rid of our tank there. When you're going to do this. So if you run it first time through and just have a look at the percentage, and then next time you'll know roughly where you're going to be to actually trigger off. I think I'm going to be around the 55% mark, so I'll have a look then and fire it off. Depending on how long your anti-heal goes on for will sort of depend on where you are with it. There we go. So have we timed this right? We've only got the duration of his ultimate, but hopefully we've got it okay, and we're starting to see him do the Crimson Plague again soon whilst he's got the anti-heal on. Otherwise we could be in trouble. There's Crimson Plague, hasn't got the heal off, because he's got the anti-heal on there, and we can keep DPSing him down. Now there we go, our tank's going to die soon, but that's not an issue. We're going to let him walk around, but he's not going to cure for this damage, so we can just keep DPSing him down until we die. We can get rid of our healer, that's not an issue there, and we're going to reset up for when the boss comes around next time. He'll slowly kill off everyone, that's not a problem for us. Then we can trigger off down this right hand side to kill off our mobs. Last couple of hits we're going to get, just milking it as far as I can. There, gone. And now we've got to wait for the boss to come around. It is just one of those things, but without an anti-heal I think you're going to really struggle. And then when our tank is up available again, this is why we set up in this system, because our next tank goes here, which leaves that cross for us, that platform base there, that leaves it available for other people to sit on. Now unfortunately, because of the way the mobs come out now, we don't have as much DPS going down. So our healers are coming out now on the same sort of platform. I think we can place you down without too many issues. Sort of hoping that's right. Looks like that's the worst of it gone for us. Now we can place you down, and we're just waiting on sort of managing to get Silas down, hopefully. But let's fire that off. And now I place Silas going this way. This is because I want this mob to come out of the way for Silas, and he's attacking now the cloth bearing healers for us. Okay, so that's what he's doing, and we can trigger off Dolores as well. We can trigger off Nisal, and we can get our tank fully spammed up as well. Now we are just DPSing the boss down. This is it. The boss should go down. Hopefully, we're going to have to wait for another ultimate from Liam to come down for us, but that would be it. And then if I get worried, then I still got another Crimson Plague coming up, and I still got another anti-heal to put on. But that's the easiest way I've found to do it. But if you haven't got an anti-heal this time round, then I think you're really going to struggle. We've just got the last couple of mobs coming out, so I think we'll be able to do these without too many issues. But I will probably call it a day there. So I've still got this open, so I can still go back in and test some more. So if you want some other stuff tested, by all means go for it. If you haven't got a Silas, you want your best single target damage dealer, whether that's Sun Wukong or anyone else that you've got, go for that. Now archers wise, Setram's going to do really well for you. If you've got Ivar at the time, absolutely fantastic. If you've got Idril and you're using her, go very careful. Don't use her ultimate. The problem with using her ultimate is she will attack the mobs coming down on the top side and going down to the right. Now that causes you an issue because they then speed up once they've been hit, and you don't have enough time to replace your tank. So go very careful if you're using an Idril. But your best single target damage dealer, and then you want that anti-heal on if you're not going to be able to manage to kill the boss in a one-er. It's not particularly nice, but this is it just down here. Apply to the enemies after casting. It's not after casting, it's as soon as he's about to cast it, because he heals before the cast bar comes up. Crimson Plague, Crimson Star will restore 35% of his max HP. That's a horrible, horrible buff, and the only way around it is that anti-heal that I found. You can get that on and that will stop him healing. But if you found it excessively tricky this time round, more tricky than normal, that's the reason why. So I hope this has been useful for you. Look out for that buff they're getting, it's not nice. Make sure you've got your anti-heal, but do try and nuke the boss down as quickly as you can. Remember, Laurel can come up there as well, and if you've got Dai-chan, then she's absolutely fantastic. You can swap around from healing to inspiration. Okay, right, that's me done for today. Thank you very much for your time. If you give me the old thumbs up, like and subscribe, would help me out massively. If you've got any other questions or any other guys you want doing, give us a shout, and then we'll look at some other stuff next week, later on in the week as well. We've got a hero design coming up, and I think I've got a cunning plan for that, so we'll put that together as well. Okay, right, thank you very much for your time. I'll see you all in the video again tomorrow. Cheers, goodbye.